All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. And I'm back. How's everybody doing tonight? I see a few people here. Maybe we'll continue just a few more seconds of this intro here. Something else I wanted to show you here. We can play this as well, along with more of this music here. Alright. Alright. Let's get back to the show here. Alright, there's a few more people in here now. I figured I'd give a couple more minutes there to get a couple more people in there before we get started with business here. So, the title of tonight's show is the Double Derecho, and we were talking about last night. We were talking about the inbound energy that was due on the 29th affecting our storms, right? Well, here we are. Here's the 29th. Okay, we're just going to go through this loop real quick. You can see that we've had another event off the northern part of the sun here. Right here. And there's an object in that one as well. And we're just going to kind of pause right here at this event. Boom. And march through this real quick. You can see as it erupts from behind the occulter here. Over here you can make out our dark object, our nice little round small object here. Let's go a few frames. Now let's go back. I want to take you to this image right here and zoom in on it if we can, Lord, please. Oh boy. Come on. Can I please just zoom in on with my computer? Thank you. I've been struggling through the spiritual warfare all day today. It's been quite the battle. Here, let's darken this, tint it out a little bit. Here you can see our dark black object, our round dark black object right there. Right? It's all surrounded by plasma. If there's this huge eruption off the sun, how come there's no plasma in that one spot? That's because there's a black round object there. That's why. Okay? And as we march forward through this, let me try to keep this from jumping too much. You can see it erupt from behind, and that was our closing frame. So let's go back here. It's showing up better on the red side tonight. So, okay, here's our round black object right here. Here's its magnetic field right here. It's ripping plasma off the sun. And This is today's event, all right? Now, as we go forward, I'm going to zoom back out of this and mark this a little bit. Okay, you can see how this object comes out and starts to move like towards the camera. This time kind of going over the left hand side of the camera, this direction, kind of at the camera, going over your left forehead. So let's back up through it a little bit. Okay, it's not going straight up and out of the page. It's actually coming towards you. Space is three-dimensional. This is just a two-dimensional screen. But you can see it coming from behind the occulter, coming out towards you. Then we also have this planet over here entering the screen. Okay, I believe it's probably Venus, I think. We'll look on the tracker. But for the moment, pay no attention to this. We're more oriented with this event and the black round object that caused this CME, okay? So we've had another event, came off the top of the sun. That's all the data. Actually, there was just a few more frames here because this event carries over into the 30th. See, here's the last few frames of it right here as it starts to move out. Come on now. There we go. It's like 7 frames right there of the 30th now. Okay. So you can see our object here is moving on out of the screen here. All right. So we had an event on the 29th, which this will arrive 3 days later, 30th, 1st, 2nd. So right around the 2nd. Okay, this will be affecting our weather. Okay. So let's go back to the 26th and what happened on the 26th. We had this event, okay, this major event on the sun. Whoops, that's right. This object, or this satellite, is missing the data. So back out of that one and go to stereo A, the 26th. Take note, stereo A, the 26th. There's our beautiful image captured of this double event, all right? Now, what I want to do is I want to back up just a tad bit to this frame right here that we looked at for a while, all right? Now, what happened here is we have a bigger object in the background with in the foreground a smaller moon. It's northern hemisphere, okay? You can see these fingers reaching out to the bottom of the bigger one, holding it like a almost like a bowling ball before you go to throw it, right? So when this passed on the 29th, I warned you last night, watch out, it might affect our weather, okay? Now I'm going to show you what it did to our weather. Here is, come on, pull this up, Lord. There we go. June 29th. Here's the derecho that everybody experienced right here, all right? There's a double derecho. There's another one here, all right? And we're using Mr. MBB's footage of this. I'm not going to put his voice in there, but I'm going to play this little loop a few times, and I want you to watch. Look at the perfect round shape of both of these derechos, okay? And now we're going to put it into motion and kind of go backward and replay it a few times, and I want you to watch the motion. You see that? Doesn't that look like our the magnetic fields of these objects are interacting with our magnetic field, and it's causing these two derechos. The pressure from these objects pushed these thunderstorms back down, shoved them back down to the ground. Here's the moon object that's a little smaller, and here's our bigger object. And something I want you guys to wrap your brain around here for a second. All right. You take some magnets, you put them on the sides of a glass of water, and it creates a vortex. Okay? Now, there is water vapor in the air. The air has a lot of water vapor in it. So, magnetic fields interact with the water vapor in the air, just like these magnets are interacting. If you didn't put the magnet on the other side and you had one placed right here, two of them on one side of the glass, one here and one here, it wouldn't swirl like this. It would have a weird different effect. It would have an effect more like this effect right here. And I was telling you it was going to intensify these storms, wasn't I? And this is precisely what it did. This is your two objects interacting with our atmosphere. Here we go. Whoops. Look at those. See both these cloud formations? See how nice and round, circular they are? Don't tell me that's not our two objects interacting with our atmosphere. On the day that they passed, we have this event. What a coincidence, huh? And look at this derecho storm. Look at its symmetry, this perfectly round shockwave out front. It even affected the radar site and made it do its little loops. It passed right over this radar site. It's like buzzing this radar site saying, "Hi, here I am." Let me play this a little bit more. Look at all the lightning associated with it. Can you see the frontal boundary is the object's like right behind it. All these people are without power now because of this storm. Okay, come over to Mr. MBB, watch his report. I wanted you guys to see this radar imagery that I can't really access at the moment. I only have a few moments to do this show. I really do not have time to search through all the stuff to find this right here. He has already provided it for us. I want you to go over there, subscribe to him, ring his bell, give him a like I just did. He does fine work. There, his comment is they're wondering. I'm going to tell you why. That passed by the sun on the 26th arrived 3 days later, just like I said they would. And here is your results, the byproduct. Okay, when we play this loop, watch this date slams together. June 29th, 2023. We had two huge derechos. All right, this one's kind of moving backwards. Its frontal boundaries right here. This one's on this side, but it's still pushing this way. Watch this storm move again. This is just the oddest stuff. See how that one curled south? The smaller one curled south? See that? And in this report, he talks about land hurricanes. Yeah, land hurricanes. I was using that term, a couple months ago. Whoops, now I've done it. But I wanted to, oh, great, now I've done it. We get to capture the ad now. All right, well, let's just move on out of that and back to our report here. Okay, so what has happened here? Here's our spike from today's activity right here. And let me pull this up for you. There you go. So this was today, this box right here. We're already into tomorrow now, the 30th, all right? And you can see our little lull in activity, but here's that big spike. There's that one thing coming off the top part of the sun that we looked at for today, all right? That's due to buzz us in 3 days from now, okay? And it'll affect our weather again because it'll be going over the northern hemisphere. Too bad they're not showing the impact that we got. This is not the impact that we had earlier. There's still a 10% chance of X flares because of this region, this 3354. It's the gamma delta, so we got to watch that one carefully. Here they're just showing this big old loop for some reason. An impressive eruption of plasma was observed from beyond the sun's northeast limb on Thursday. All right, so that's it, I think, for this intro. No, we still got a couple other things to check. I'm too zoomed in on it. Here's our 3354. This is the dangerous sunspot that we're watching right now. This is the one that's beta gamma delta. I believe it's rotated a little more closer to Earth facing now. This looks like an old image. Let me open up the tracker real quick here. And zoom in on it and see what they've got for us here. Something else I want to point out, I used to use this tracker for different reasons because it has the planets and the satellites labeled on it, okay? And I'm trying to get this as best I can. Let me get one more in here and kind of show you what I'm talking about here. All right, up above here, the legend shows all the different little squares. All right, the round yellow one is the Earth. The round red one is Mars. Okay, this round yellow one is Mercury. This green round one is Venus right here. The Bepi satellite, not on here anymore. OSIRIS-REx is right back here right now. The Solo satellite is right here, and Stereo A is right next to the Earth. It's really close. It's almost got the same vantage point that the Soho satellite has. Not Solo, but Soho is right in front of the Earth. Okay, so Stereo A and Soho are so close together now that it's hard to make any kind of trajectory calculations anymore. I don't know the precise geometry anymore, the angle of that it's off from our perspective, so it makes it virtually impossible to do any more calculations. But with the good eye, I can tell what direction they're coming at just by looking at the satellite. Anywho, when we're looking from this perspective at the sun this way, you notice this little thing in the background right here? That's Mercury, all right? That's our star in the background here. It's not Venus. This star that's entering the frame, oh, come on. I can't just click to a previous page, huh? Come on, Google, respond. It says Google responding. So everybody pray for Google to respond. Come on, all 5 of you, 6 of you. There we go. A couple more. Well, let's get her done, son. Why is it doing it right now, Lord? Can we please have it back? Come on, please. I was only trying to thank you, Lord. I was only trying to reference this again. We were talking about the tracker here, and that star that's entering the screen from over here is going to be Mercury, okay? Even from Stereo A's perspective and Soho's perspective, we can both see, from both satellites, we can both see Mercury in the background right here from these two perspectives right there, all right? So, back out of this. Zoom right back out. I think we're done here. Our KP index is 4. It's pretty mild right now. Let's go look at our auroras right now. They're pretty healthy. You can see we have a little band of yellow here in this in the southern hemisphere one, nice and bright green here. We've been absorbing some energy because it gets directed to the poles right here. You can see it gets directed to the poles. The poles absorb it, transfer it down to the core. It heats up and expands. And when that happens, it heats up the shell as well. And then the shell and the core grind on each other and produce these big streaks on the Schumann. This is where we reported on this. Let me get 150, 175 on this one. So give me a tab it. That's about as good as I can get it. And then we start scooching. All right, there you go. Before I report on this, you guys just take a little peek at this. I need to take a sip. You know what we're looking for, right? These screeching events, we understand how this works now, okay? What we're most concerned with is a nice solid line going across here. How solid does that line look to you? Do you see some fluctuations in strength? Right in here. Right in here. Field was down today for a little while. It was a very weak. Not down, but very weak. Okay? Still producing other harmonics at different levels or whatever, but the main one we're concerned with is 7.83. That's what every creature on this planet's vibration is too. So when this goes out of whack, it affects everything and everybody. Wondering why you're feeling strange? Well, it's because the core of the earth is doing some strange stuff and it's affecting the creatures on the surface. And you're a creature on the surface. Okay? So, we absorbed a bunch of energy, had quite the not lock up, but quite the screeching, grinding event. Came out of it pretty weak right here, had a weak moment, and then started plugging along for a second. And then we have 1, 2, 3, you look down here, there's 4 solid lines, really. 4 good pulses on the brakes. Boom, 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 boom. And then we come out of it and it gets weak and then gets really weak right in this zone right here. Okay, so I'd say for 3 to 4 hours today, it was very, very weak. All right, right in this area. I'll have to go do translations for the time according to this. This is UTC time, so, and then it's plus 7 hours in Russia, so you have to minus the 12 hours plus the 7, and it's maybe 5 hours plus UTC. It's like almost impossible to calculate, but you can see currently right here at the very end, this is our latest reading. We are in the middle of a screeching event right now. Okay, we just absorbed a bunch of energy, see it? And now we're screeching again. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a big hard one like this event. Hopefully it's just a little something scurry like that and we come out pretty decent, okay? So just be on, head on a swivel, Used to say that a lot, and I think maybe we're going to be saying it a lot more, because why are we not getting color here? What happened to my instrument? It was nice and colorful just a minute ago. We need the colors because they tell us the intensities. There we go. All right, back to where we were. Let's go up to the upper jet for the moment. Okay, our upper jet is going haywire. Look at this flow, come up way over here, woo, down here, mixes with this, turns, goes way back up here, almost works with its own original flow. It starts here, turns, does this huge backward loop, and comes right back to almost the same place, splits and goes up and comes back down. It just, the craziest flow asymmetries I've ever seen. Even in water. I don't even see this kind of flow asymmetries in, you know, backward flowing streams is what it looks like, you know. It's just very, very, very jagged and oh boy, you guys come up with your own adjectives. I'm mentally spent right now, so you'll have to forgive me. I've been on quite a long journey. And there's your southern hemisphere's upper jet stream just going haywire as well. Okay, now I'm going to go up to the a little higher. There's the polar vortex for the southern hemisphere. We got a small little vortex right out here in the middle in between South Africa and South America. Okay, that's about the only one. Well, there's a little one here, but it doesn't seem to be affecting Australia too bad. Okay, our southerly flow is, blended in now with the northerly flow. There's no blue barrier anymore. See the blue barrier down here? There's no blue barrier up here anymore. Okay, and I come over here, look at the United States. See, this upper flow is going east to west. Then down below it, everything else is struggling to go west to east, but is being held up and buckled and disconjointed and discombobulated, and there we go, discombobulated. Look how these two combine south of Greenland here, and look how these two jets combine right here over the Atlantic are just puking right on England and Ireland. So they're going to get slammed here. You see this jet racing through off the Mediterranean, going across here. Watch out, they're going to get hit. Their weather's going to be wild in that zone. All these different intense zones, you see them? These purple zones all over the place. That's where it's intense. And then I release the winds, and you see it's just this weird hodgepodge, mishmash. That's your upper jet stream. Excuse me. Okay, and here's the zone that's in between. Okay, now we don't really report on this zone too much because it's not much going on in there. It's like really, really oops. Pull the world back up here. If we pull it over here and look at focus in on America, you'll see that it's not doing too much there. Hang on just a sec, I'll be right back. I thought you were already in here, bud. You're welcome. You're welcome. So that zone in between the upper and the lower jet, or the polar vortex and the upper jet, is just kind of in this weird stasis type state. You can see here we got this flow coming backwards from America, but then it goes up the Pacific and into up into Canada. So this is that neutral zone in between your polar vortex and your upper jet. So it's just kind of making adjustments. And here, this is that zone in between. This is below your polar vortex. So there's still this vortex type shape going on underneath at the lower levels. All right. I really don't feel like doing the chemicals, but real quick, the SO2 anyway. just in case there's anything important. Okay, you can see China still having their issues. They will for a while. Here's America, still kind of split down the middle. Nothing really changed there. Europe still kind of bleeding out too. Nothing really changed there. And they're kind of all look the same. You know what? Pulled it a little too far. Make adjustments again. Alright, so yeah, we're good on the gases. We're not good on the gases. This is a nightmare. I just don't want to report on it too much. You can just look at it. You can see what's going on. It's all sulfur dioxide coming out of the surface because the magma underneath is pushing it out. Here's our channel right here between the two Java and this other peninsula here. Okay, so we're done with that one. Let's move on to the earthquake report. This one might take a minute. Yeah, let's just start banging this one out real quick. So, our two deep quakes are this one and this one. We're going to start off with them. This was a 4.6 today at a depth of 559. That's about 5.0, a little bit higher at the surface. This was a 4.2 later on at a depth of 556. 4.9, almost a 5 or something at the surface, okay? So we've had two deep quakes, both with 5 energy at the surface. Then, please have this one. Later on, we had this quake. This is a 4.7 at a depth of 10, so we had that 5 type energy enter the system. Let's see. That is, well, no, that was earlier. What time is that one? Wait a second here. 1900. This was 3 and 9. The latest one was 9. Okay, that's what I was trying to find out. Okay, so our two deep ones triggered this. I believe we can have this one. Yeah, that was that one. All right, a 4.6 at a depth of 104. Again, that's almost that 5 energy up here at the surface. So these two deep ones set off this one and this one. And that one as well, yes, now that I see the timestamp a little better. So it's entered the system, it bypassed all this, it set off this 4.7. This is that deep pocket area again right here. Okay, this is where we have secondary deep quakes. So that's semi-deep at 176, so that's a 5 energy again at the surface. So, you know, there's that 5 energy moving through. 4.6 here at a depth of 117. Yep, that's after it. That's after it as well. A 5.2 at a depth of 37. That's after it as well. 4.4 at a depth of 103. Come up here to Japan. And this is after it as well. So a 4.3 at a depth of 56 here at Japan. And nothing else. You just pull back a little bit. Yeah, so it's made it as far north as Japan. We'll probably have 1 or 2 somewhere around here. 5.0 or, 4.7 to 5.0. After it gets past the kinked garden hose, it'll drop down to 3s probably. So this whole area right here, 5s on this side, mid 4 to 5 on this side, mid 3 to mid 3s on this side. Here's our release at the apex point, 4.4 to depth of 10. There should be another one right around here pretty soon. 4.1 for the turkeys. at a depth of 10. I know what's going on right here. The Lord has had so much mercy on this place. You remember the big quakes that happened here? The weakness in the crust underneath this place right now is not good. And they're still rattling little 4.1 here and there or whatever. But trust me, the Lord's having mercy on that place right now. For some reason. I don't know why. Here we have a 4.1 at a depth of 10. I know why. Because the Lord is merciful. That's why. Alright. Let's come over here to 4.7 at a depth of 10. I want to see the Cocos plate. What's going on right here? Okay, this 4.3 at a depth of 77, we're going to have to go take a little closer peek at this because it's in that weak zone. It's perfectly located, actually. Not right on the shore, and it's deep into this shelf area. It's not right on the edge to cause a landslide, and it's 77 kilometers down under that. So it's pretty deep. So that is a good quake, if there's a good quake. In the topography, if you can see it, I'm going to try to capture as best I can here for you. You can make out a little V-shaped little valley or some runoff right here, almost like there's a river up here that, trickles water, and that underwater stream effect continues down and has trickled down this cliff here. Okay, and it's eroded away this corner right here. And this is up at the top of this weak part right here. See this zig thing in the crust right here coming up? So this is right above this weak zone right here. This crack, and it's in this weak zone just above that crack. Okay, so we'll watch out for quakes here in this area, especially with that little crack area. That seems to be a little weak point. So that's okay. That's a good release there. I'm just thankful it's not rupturing this this plate or rattling it too much. We do not want that. Pull this up. This is a 3.5 at Tehachapi, California. At a depth of 6.5. We had a smaller mouse fart up here on the Juan de Fuca. Oops, I went too deep too fast. There we go. And it's just above this fulcrum point right here. Okay, just inside of it, but nothing too major. Okay, that's good. Good news. Good report really on our earthquakes. Nothing too much. Considering the passage of our object today, 2 objects, I was expecting wherever the focal point of, the passage was, it looks like it was on America. Oops, I lost yeah, but it was those derechos. So I was expecting wherever they passed, the closest point, that they might have an earthquake in that zone, and it looks like we dodged a good bullet. It produced the derechos. That's not good, but it didn't cause some major earthquake or volcanic eruption. Let's get over here to the GFS model, get this up and running before we lose all the data, or have we? Nope, it's still all there. Now, this current conditions, all right, our derecho is already moved out. It's already dissipated here. What the hell's going on back here? Another passage on one of these objects, I think. I don't know, but let's just continue marching through this. So this is current conditions. Then we go into the morning hours of the 30th, and it dissipates. Okay, so currently it's still going. Whatever on is, intense thunderstorms, hail, high winds going on right here, okay? Then it dissipates in the morning. Let me There we go. Yeah. Let me yawn real quick. Every once in a while I get sleep. In the meantime, I yawn sometimes. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be noontime, the 30th, tomorrow. Here's the end of convection tomorrow. And it actually isn't the end because it continues to blossom into the evening hours. So in back up a frame, this will be sundown. We'll call it sundown now because it's no longer the end of convection. So here's sundown with our blossoms all along the foothills of the mountains, okay, stretching out into the plains. Watch out for possible derecho type effects again here because here it blossoms into the nighttime, okay, so nighttime thunderstorms, nocturnal thunderstorms, hail, high winds, possible derechos again, okay, for this region, okay. We still have more inbound energy coming in on the 30th, too. And it's going to affect this model as well. Okay? So that's at minimum right there. Now add some energy to it, and let's see what happens. We might have back-to-back derecho events. This is going into the morning hours of July 1st. Still thunderstorms going on here in Ohio. Noontime the 1st, sundown the 1st. Look at the nightmare right here. Sundown the 1st. Whoa. Tried to jump 2 frames. It blossoms. It actually, look at this. So here's sundown, but then it spreads out. It doesn't matter. It's like a shotgun blast now. Direction, and it's got a little bit in each of all these states. Okay, it's kind of a little bit in each state, so watch out there at 11. That's going to be midnight, 1 in the morning for the East Coast, 2 in the morning in that time zone, okay, for July 1st. This is the morning hours of the 2nd, noon time of the 2nd, sundown of the 2nd. Nocturnal thunderstorms into the 2nd. This region, back in here. Clears out in the morning. There's noon, sundown, and overnight hours. Morning of the 4th. Noon of the 4th. Afternoon, well, around sun. Little pop-ups all around here, all through here, okay. Then it blossoms and stretches out. It connects to this doing there. We have these more pop-ups, okay, that blossom overnight into the midnight hours of the 4th, into the morning of the 5th. There's the morning of the 5th. Noontime of the 5th. Sundown of the 5th. Now it's just like a shotgun blast. All here, there, all up and down Florida, up in here. Can I grab one more zoom on this one? Is 125? 150. There it is. Okay. Scroll. There we go. Now I want you to see this is going to be your oh, we lost the time stamp, but this is the scattering effect that I was talking about. Look down here in Florida, okay? Look here in the North, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Louisiana. These are those dangerous little pop-up ones that I don't like, all right? They're very unpredictable. They're very sporadic. They're very volatile and dangerous. They can pop up really quick and then disappear really quick, or they could turn into a long track. You don't know. These things are just, they're too unpredictable. They're very dangerous. I pray for the storm chasers for that day. If they try to take on these scattered ones like this, it gets a little tricky. If you guys have been watching these guys, they're heroes at what they're doing, but you understand how tricky it can get. And a few weeks back, they all converged at one spot, and then a tornado dropped right next to them. They got all caught off guard, and they were all trapped in the same spot. So it's very, very tricky game, life and death out there, really. So this is your nighttime, well, sundown of July 5th. Then we go into the nighttime blossom, not necessarily blossom, but fill in. And, all these spots are still little yellow spots all through here. Then we go into the morning of the 6th. This is the morning game, all right? This is when everything's supposed to be burned off and done. We still have intense thunderstorms here at the Missouri-Arkansas border, possibly. There's noontime. Now it shifts back here, up in there. The 6th, there's sundown of the 6th. There's midnight hours of the 6th. Look out here. This is the morning of the 7th, noon of the 7th, sundown of the 7th, and nighttime of the 7th. Then we go into the morning of the 8th, noon of the 8th, any convection, sundown of the 8th. All right, sorry. That's midnight, overnight hours, the 9th, the noon of the 9th, sundown, midnight hours of the 9th, morning of the 10th, noon of the 10th, sundown of the 10th, overnight of the 10th. Oh dear. The morning of the 11th, noon of the 11th, sundown of the 11th, into the nighttime of the 11th. Boom, 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 boom. You on in here. That's the morning of the 12th, noon, sundown, the midnight hours of the 12th into the 13th, morning of the 13th, noon of the 13th, into convection or sundown of the 13th. Actually looks kind of lucky that day, the 13th maybe. There's morning of the 14th, noon, afternoon of the 14th, midnight hours of the 14th. 14th looks pretty clear. 15th, morning of the 15th, noon, and sundown. So the 14th and the 15th look pretty clear, but up until then, we got quite a bumpy road. So let's play real quick, that loop real quick. I'll let you watch that real fast while I take a quick drag, and then we will get into the spiritual report. So, for those of you who are here for the solar stuff, we're done with that. And for those of you who stick around for a sec, we'll get into the spiritual report. And what did I do with my notes tonight? Oh, crap. I hid them from myself. You guys ever done that? Try to find a good hiding spot and then you can't remember, you hide it from yourself. Yeah, give me just a second here. We got crickets. Alrighty. let's get to the second half of the show, shall we? And where did I put my notes? Alright, first let's find an image here. What should we break into? We'll see if we can pull this one up first. Just anything, Lord, please. YouTube. Any page? Nah. Just started X now. There we go. My page, please. My page. Hello. I think we're having some satellite issues as we speak because I'll pull up an image to read to tonight and a little discussion about what do you have to write down? Common courtesy and consideration of others. Yeah, a little subject that needs addressing eventually here. Dang it, there's some of them. Okay, hang on, I found some of my notes. Where's the rest of them? Okay, let's see here. We always look at this one of Jesus in the clouds. I want to give you something different. Put in the background. Oh, I know. It will do this face right here. If we can. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this face. Let me get some light on my side over here. Try not to blind the camera too much. And go full screen with this face here. I just pulled it up right here for the reading here. Alright, hopefully you can see this face. And let's just back up. I got it muted, but I'll let you see this face here. They actually captured groaning in the sky. We're not going to play that part, but I want you to see this face here. This giant face looking over this town, spitting lightning. Okay, I'm not going to play the sound right now. We've already played the sound thousands of times. You can come over here and listen to it on this video, but just kind of waiting for a good spot to capture this face. Right about there. Okay. Okay. I guess that one. Okay, where's my other set of notes? Found one. Let me find the other one. It's gotta be in this stack here. Let me move you guys just a tad bit to get to this stack. There we go. Alright, you can still see it, I think. Alright. The face of God. Jesus. In the clouds, right there. Okay? Spitting lightning on this town because I guess they wronged him. Okay? But, even though it's, the image of it, I don't want the image of him spitting lightning. I just need his face right there. Okay? So there's that one. What was the other one you wanted, Lord? I got the first one. Oh, yes. That's right. Okay, so I guess we have plenty now. Okay. So, just a few people left? Alright, that's fine. I only want the brave, anyways, because if you're looking at this, you're pretty brave. If you're grasping what you're seeing, and you can wrap your mind around this face of God here in the clouds, looking down on this town. You're pretty spiritually brave. Okay, I see people dropping now. That's good. That's fine. And for you people that watching it later, that's good that you guys got courage and strength to make it through this. It's not easy for me to report on this as well. So let me open up my soda here, and we will get to reading, shall we? All right. So the first thing we want. Oh, this way. I get it. I get it. Okay. The light of my presence shines on every situation in your life, past, present, and future. I knew you before the creation of the world, and I have loved you with an everlasting love. You are never alone. So look for me in your moments. Search for me as for hidden treasure. Seek to see me in the midst of all your circumstances. Don't let them obscure your view of me. Sometimes I display my presence in grand, glorious ways. At other times I show myself in simple, humble ways that make sense only to you. Ask me to open your eyes and your heart to discern all my communications to you. As you go through this day, remind yourself to look for the light of my presence shining on your life. Don't have such narrow focus that you see only responsibilities and worldly concerns. Instead, expand your focus to include me in your perspective. You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. Um, Relax in my healing presence. As you spend time with me, your thoughts tend to jump ahead to today's plans and problems. Bring your mind back to me for refreshment and renewal. Let the light of my presence soak into you as you focus your thoughts on me. Thus, I equip you to face whatever the day brings. This sacrifice of time pleases me and strengthens you. On our time together, resist the clamor of the tasks waiting to be done. You have chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from you. I make your feet like the feet of a deer. I enable you to stand on the heights. I created deer with the ability to climb steep mountains with ease on the heights with confidence. Your trust in me can give you confidence to walk and make progress upon your high places of trouble, responsibility, or suffering. It is crucial to remember that you live in a world where your spiritual enemies never declare a truce, so you need to stay alert and be ready for battle. Unlike warriors with servants to help them put on their gear, you must make the effort to armor yourself each day. No matter what happens, I want you to be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything to stand, stand some more. When you're in the thick of battle, declare your trust in me, your confidence that I am with you, helping you. You may feel as if you're losing the battle, but don't give up. Hold tightly to my hand and just keep standing. This is victory. Okay? This is victory. Stand there. Take it. Don't back down. Stand your ground. Okay? I had a couple of incidents earlier today. I'm picking up some fast food. Everybody gets in line at the drive-through, right? When you pull up to the line at the drive-through, you get in the back of the line. At ours, there happens to be a cross street that people like to jump this cross street and cut in line. today somebody did that. There were four other cars still waiting on the other side of this cross street. It's clear that we're waiting for the drive-through. This guy takes the cross street and thinks he's going to swoop in there. Well, he did it in front of some timid teenage girls, and this is an older guy in a big old truck, and he thought nobody was going to call him on it. I got out of my truck and walked over there and told this guy, "Get out of that spot. That is not your spot. You cut in line. Look at this line. We have all been waiting here for at least 10 minutes. There is no way you are just going to waltz in here and steal this spot. Now move your truck." And he rolled his eyes at me and went, "Ah, I was just cutting through." And he went and parked and walked in. Just cutting through. Roll your eyes at me. Duly noted. Little do these people know who they're dealing with. Then, just a few minutes later, I finally get to the cross street. I'm next in line to cross this cross street up into the drive-through. Let's just say an overweight Karen, I will call her a Karen, in her minivan, sees us waiting, diverts around the people waiting, goes directly to the cross street and jumps in the traffic and darts right in front of me and swoops that position and continues to block the cross street now. Let me just say, I'm a very forgiving person. Enough of this shit. I got out of the car and I told that lady, "You move your car out of that spot. That is my spot. I waited my turn. The line is back there." Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we might be back. We can get this camera flipped around. Can I flip the camera around, please? There we go. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Watch how this cloud forms together. All right, well, pretty much lost most of you. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how I started addressing the issue of entitlement and people cheating and cutting a line and being rude, lying, deceitful people when they know better. Well, they know better. They know they're guilty of it, and when you call it on them, call them on their shit, they huff and puff like a little brat. Excuse me? Didn't you over that shit in school? We got some serious issues when grown adults can't wait their turn in line and they have to cut in line and act like a bully. Who the hell do you think you are? Pushing people around, cutting in line like you're king of Sheba or something. Yeah, I like how they cut me off as soon as I address the issue of entitlement. But back to this issue. These people cutting in line. Some lady, "Oh, I have a medical card." I'm like, you know what? You're not bleeding out right now. Get in line. Everybody else is waiting. If there's some place there's line and you have to wait your turn, get to the back of the line as soon as possible and wait your turn patiently like everybody else has to. You don't need to be a jerk and cut in line and be oh, thank you, YouTube. I can't even rescue this. You don't have to be entitled and expect everybody to bow down to your wishes because you're in a hurry. do I have more important things, spiritual warfare taking place. If anybody needs like a set of police lights, it would be me. Well, here, I don't have to block the screen because it's locked up anyway. But it would be an individual like me who's rushing to save a life or a soul, not to sit at a green light and eat a cheeseburger and wait for the to finish the cheeseburger when the light's green. Eat in the parking lot. Do your things properly. You don't need to if you got to be on the phone, pull off to the side of the road. You don't need to be on your phone all the time, even at an intersection. I mean, you're sitting there at a red light on your phone still, and the light turns green, and you're looking down, still texting. People have places to go and places to be. And if you're going to hold up traffic with blocking the intersections, just no situational awareness, boy, are these people going to be in a world of hurt when the shit hits the fan. Because it's coming real quick. I mean, if you haven't paid attention to the headlines and you don't know what's going on, you're living under a rock. I wish I could get my image back here, but whatever I try, it seems to just make more mayhem. So we'll just leave it at this little experiment with the magnets. And I want you to think long and hard about this, how magnetic fields can cause vortexes with water and other chemicals as well too. But anyways, can we get back to the days when we had common courtesy? I'm disabled. I got two shattered hips and I'm pushing a shopping cart full of water. It's really heavy. It hurts to get it going and it hurts twice as much to try to stop it. And some entitled Karen got to walk right in front of me and make me slam on the brakes. And then she grabs a cart and bashes into my cart and gives me a dirty look because I stopped for her. Is that any way to thank a person? I should have plowed over her with 40 pounds of water and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't let you know I have two shattered hips. You're bad." But no, I have the common courtesy to hold up and let this lady just do whatever she thinks she wants to do. Well, maybe there's no laws about it, but you better start pulling your head out of your ass and treating people properly if you expect respect in return. Because cutting in line ain't going to get you that respect. Blocking the aisles and blocking the driveways on your phone, head up your ass, is not going to get you that respect. It's helping people. It's trying to do the right thing. Hold the door open for somebody that's crippled. Don't slam the door in their face and laugh. When has that become cool? I just kind of wonder, when has that become cool to like hurt a disabled person or trip them or steal their cane and it's funny now? Well, wait until that shit happens to you. I bet you won't be laughing when somebody steals your cane and you got two shattered hips. Oh, yeah, why don't you crawl across the parking lot now, buddy? You people better watch out how you treat each other. Because that's what this whole test is about, is how you treat each other. And if this is the way you treat each other, boy, a lot of you people are going to the wrong place. All because you're so self-absorbed and entitled. I'm sorry. God wants it out there. He wanted me to say this. It's becoming a problem in our society to the point where some people can barely do their normal functions because of everybody else insists on being idiots. So for those of you who have to struggle through the sea of idiots, I pray for you. I'm giving you my strength, my patience, my courage. I'm grinding my teeth too, pulling my hair out, going, how could this be happening? But it is, so just grin and bear it And hang in there, folks. We're fighting this thing for real, and you guys are real spiritual warriors. If you've hung into this show this far, you are, and I know some of you have figured it out, and you're making progress, aren't you? I know you are. I know you are. Anyways, thank you for dropping in tonight. Sorry it was a little late. I'll try to get back to you tomorrow. Depends on the battlefield and how successful we squeeze through tomorrow. Okay? So, everybody, stand your ground. Okay? Don't let these people cut in front of you. All right? Don't let these entitled people just think, uh, uh, just because, well, I didn't feel like waiting. Oh, well, then maybe you should go to some other restaurant. Or maybe you should go to a different place. If you want to eat here, you have to wait in line like the rest of us. Okay? None of you are special. Anyways, my audience is special. You guys should be the ones who get to cut in line. And that'll be happening here soon. So hang in there, you guys. I love you. I miss you all. And until my next video or live stream, I'll be back because I am back with a vengeance.